Hello, our beloved viewers. Welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. Let's begin with the top stories of tonight. And on the occasion of the World Telecommunication Day, the Minister of Communication spoke to the press and highlighted the importance of digital technology for the country. And on the world news, the 34th Arab Summit begins in Baghdad in the presence of Arab leaders. Those were the top stories, and welcome back in our newsroom. And on the occasion of the World Telecommunication Day, the Minister of Telecommunication, of Communication, and in charge of Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon, spoke to the press and highlighted the importance of digital technology for the country. Here is what the minister had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, today the Republic of Djibouti stands alongside the rest of the world to celebrate World Telecommunication and Training Society Day. This emblematic date, since the founding of the International Telecommunication Union in 1865, invites us to measure the progress made. Above all, it inclines us to face the crucial challenges that remain in the digital age. The theme chosen this year by the ITU, the fight against the digital divide between men and women, concerns us all. It highlights a worrying reality. Despite technological advances, 1 million women remain excluded from the benefits of digital technology, and 1 billion people are still disconnected worldwide. The majority are women and girls. This is not a coincidence, it is a symptom of a systematic divide. This unequal access is more than a social injustice, it is an immense collective loss. It represents so much talent, voice, solutions, and innovation that are not contributing to the march of progress. Filling this gap is not compassionate, it is a strategic imperative to build a stronger economy, a more resilient society, and a truly inclusive future. Ladies and gentlemen, Djibouti, thanks to the visionary leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic and Head of Government, we have digital inclusion and national priority. Through Vision Djibouti 2035, our country has charted a clear path, that of sustainable development driven by digital technology, but which leaves no one behind. We are investing massively to modernize our infrastructure, expand our network, and democratize access to digital services. These foundations are essential but not sufficient. That is why we are taking concrete action to eliminate the specific barriers that hinder women's access to digital technology. Our commitment is clear and our direction is firm. Train and empower women and girls through targeted literacy and digital skills programs in both urban and rural areas. Make digital technology accessible to all through fair pricing policies and initiatives promoting equipment. Break stereotypes by encouraging girls to pursue scientific fields and digital careers. Support female entrepreneurship by facilitating access to financing, resources, and networks. Include women in the very design of digital public services to ensure their relevance and effectiveness. Protect women in the digital space by combating all forms of harassment and online violence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's build an egalitarian digital Djibouti. This is not a slogan, it is a necessity. It is a collective fight that we cannot fight alone. We need the commitment of all the virtual forces of the nation, public authorities, private sector, civil society, academic institutions, technical and financial partners, and above all, the citizens themselves.
This Thursday, the Minister of Infrastructure and Transport, Mr. Hassan Omar Hassan Hamad Ibrahim, continued his inspection tour in the region with a key visit to Yuboki. He reviewed the progress of the 60 kilometers Galamo Dagiru road reconstruction funded by the Saudi Fund for Development. This visit followed earlier inspections of the Dudu Balale Mouloud section, an urban road in Dakhil. The minister was joined by regional officials, representatives from CCECC, Saudi Tech, and senior ministry staffs as well. The delegation visited strategic sites such as Gallamo, Gurabus, and Garabis, where two major bridges are being built to ensure year-round access. In Dagiru, the minister met with on-site teams to assess the project's progress. The mission concluded with a working session at the CCECC base in Yuboki. The minister praised the progress over 30 kilometers already paved and called for a continued effort to complete the road by the end of 2025. He did not fail to thank all technical and institutional partners for their commitment. The Minister of Infrastructure and Transport, Hassan Hamadi Ibrahim, visited Yoboki to assess the progress of key works, including the strategic Galamo Dagiru road. Let's listen to the minister from the construction site.
Nous sommes réunis ici aujourd'hui.
Today, I stand before you in Ubuki with a sense of pride and determination as we continue our mission to accelerate the major road infrastructure works that are so vital to our nation's development. This visit is part of our intensive follow-up tour in the Dakhil region, where we are assessing the progress of strategic infrastructure projects. The Galangu Dagiru road segment, spanning 90 kilometers and financed by the Saudi Fund for Development, is a key priority. This road will serve as a crucial artery for regional connectivity, economic exchange, and accessibility throughout all seasons, thanks in part to integration of two major bridges. Alongside the Prefect of Dakhil, the Vice President of the Regional Council, the Director General of DPCR and ADR, as well as our valued partners from the SCC, ECC, and Saudi Tech, we have conducted a throughout inspection of the site, visiting critical points, accompanied the efforts and collaborations of all those involved on the ground. I would especially like to thank the Sub-Prefect of Ibuki, Mr. Abdullah Robli Dabar, and the warm welcome and for facilitating meaningful exchange with the project teams during our visit here.
And still with the national news, the Djibouti High School hosted today the finals of the country's first Geography Olympiad, an event launched by the Ministry of Education under the leadership of Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud. This initiative encouraged the organization of Olympiad for the 2024-2025 school year. The History Geography Department implemented a training program for teachers from November 2024 to February 2025. The first selection phase took place on April 19, identifying top students from first LES and S classes from five high schools in the capital. The elimination phase was held on May 3rd, with school competing to determine the finalists. And today, 4 teams competed in the final: Djibouti High School, Jama Yusuf High School, Ahmed Farah, and Hodan High School. Each team made up of 5 students, proudly represented by their schools. This is the first for the History Geography Department, which aims to participate in the International Geography Olympiad, which will be held in Istanbul in 2026. And now moving on to Rabat, Morocco, at the Conference of Ministers of Youth and Sport of the Francophonie Conference held on May 16, 2025 in Rabat. Dr. Hibo Moumin Assowi, Minister of Youth and Culture of Djibouti, represented her country. The Secretary General of Conference, Madame Louise Rene Toby, was reappointed for another term, reflecting the trust of the member states. The agenda included the 2025-2030 strategic plan, activity reports, and the confirmation of host countries for coming meetings. 11 entrepreneurship projects from the PPAJ winners were presented, highlighting the economic integration of youth. The minister praised the conference theme on youth employment. We stay in Rabat, where the Secretary General of the State Secretariat for Sport, Mrs. Khadija Ibrahim Idris, representing the State Secretary for Sport, participated in the work of Conference in Rabat, in Morocco. The ministerial session of Conference began with the grand ceremony chaired by the Minister of Sport and Youth of Congo, the outgoing President of Conference, and the Minister of Youth of Morocco, the incoming President of Conference, alongside the Secretary General of Conference, Mrs. Toby. The event brought together 37 ministers of sport and youth from the 44 member countries of the organization. Let's come back now to the country, where the Ministry of Women and Family organized a workshop on female genital mutilation at the City Stade Primary School in Boulouse commune. The workshop creatively illustrated the negative impacts of female genital mutilation and emphasized the importance of educating and protecting young girls. The event was attended by the Director of Child Promotion from the Ministry of Women, UNFD representative, the school principal, Ministry of Women and Family officials, as well as teacher and student. This effort aims to raise awareness and mobilize the school community in the fight against these harmful practices. To the north of the country now, the Tajura Regional Hospital hosted a significant dental mission organized in partnership with the Djiboutian Association of Dentists. The mission aimed to provide a free dental consultation, including curative care, extraction, oral health checkups, and preventive activities. And under the aegis of the Ministry of Sports, the Djibouti Tennis Federation organized the closing of the inter-club tournaments for the junior and cadet categories with children aged from 7 to 12 at the Gabon National Tennis Center. The highly anticipated finals began at 4:30 p.m., supervised by technical coaches. The young competitors display excellent sportsmanship in front of an enthusiastic audience made up of many parents supporting their children. The president of the federation, Mr. Suge Ibrahim, praised the commitment of the clubs and families for the development of tennis in Djibouti. The ceremony concluded with the award of trophies to the winner, accompanied by applause from the parents, reflecting the success of the event. This initiative aligns with the Ministry of Sport policy to promote grassroots sport. A finalist mother took the floor to commend the Federation's hard work, emphasizing that tennis is a complete sport that builds both the body and mind of children. Other news, the National Navy and the General Directorate of Customs recently seized and destroyed 11 bags of cat, each weighing 70 kilo coming from Yemen. This operation highlights the local authorities' strong commitment to fighting against illegal trafficking and protecting the territory. Cat smuggling contributes to economic instability by fostering criminal networks, corruption, and the loss of tax revenue, undermining local institutions. And thanks to the close collaboration between the Navy and Customs, significant progress has been made in the fight against this issue. The prefect of the region has urged the public to continue supporting these efforts, emphasizing that citizen cooperation is crucial for strengthening the region's security and well-being as well. The seized cat was burned by customs officers in the presence of the National Gendarmerie. Moving on now to the magazine of tonight, we take a look at the Nakba, a tragedy that still impacts the Palestinian people today. Details in this report.
Murder, expulsion, and displacement of the people of Palestine all started for the invention of the apartheid regime of Israel in 1948. The Western colonial powers supported Zionist gangs to expel about 1 million Palestinian citizens from 1.9 million population between 1947 to 1949. They were made refugees beyond the border of Palestine. Zionist gangs have taken more than 78% of the land of Palestine. The natives were out. The European Jewish colonizers were in. Zionist gangs ethnically cleansed and destroyed 530 villages and killed 15,000 Palestinians in a series of mass atrocities, including more than 70 massacres. The continuity of this tragic situation turned it into Nakba. 74 years of catastrophic life marked by more killing of Palestinians, demolition of Palestinians' homes, a grab of more Palestinian land, and construction of a separation wall that has no like in the world. The Zionist gangsters turned into a systematic apartheid regime that launches against the people who were made refugees. Massive wars in Lebanon, in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Naqab, Led, Haifa, Jaffa, and Nazareth. If the tears of the Palestinian mothers whose children were executed by the Zionist regime were collected, they would flow like rivers' water.
يا رب يا رب أهلي يا رب ما تخافوش
October 2023, a date the Palestinian people will never forget. It marks the beginning of an unending nightmare for the people of Gaza. No matter how many years pass, they will never overcome the horrors they endured. They will never forget their loved ones killed, their homes destroyed, or their lands devastated. The echoes of these traumatic memories will haunt them forever. For them, war is never truly over. The year 2023.
And now an update of the Gaza Strip. Israeli forces have intensified airstrikes and ground operation in Gaza with at least 100 killed on Friday. Dini has the following report.
Forces launched intensive airstrikes and increased the deployment of ground forces in Gaza. The Gaza Civil Defense Agency announced that Israeli strikes killed at least 100 people on Friday, following more than 80 deaths on Wednesday and more than 100 on Thursday. After a 2-month truce, Israeli forces resumed their offensive on Gaza on March 18, seizing control of large swaths of territory. Since 2 of March, Israeli forces have prevented the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza, a virtual aid force for the 2.4 million people who are threatened with mass starvation, according to several NGOs.
And now in Baghdad, where the country is hosting an Arab summit to boost trade and investment. Dini's comment.
34th Arab League Summit began in Baghdad today, Saturday, with Arab leaders and officials attending at the government headquarters in the Green Zone. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez are also participating. In his opening remarks, Iraqi President Abdul Latif Rashid emphasized that the summit is being held under extremely complex circumstances and in the face of serious challenges, noting that the shadow of war threatens security and stability in the region. For his part, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Sudani stated that Iraq is not limited to rebuilding the country, but also participating in reshaping the Middle East region through a balanced foreign policy and wise leadership, emphasizing development initiatives and strategic partnerships aimed at enhancing regional security and stability.
And finally, climate change is causing unprecedented challenges worldwide, with the extreme weather events worsening. Reports.
Here's the world has witnessed a significant acceleration in the effects of climate change, with environmental crises increasingly frequent due to unprecedentedly high temperatures. According to the World Meteorological Organization, 2023 was the hottest year ever recorded, reflecting the escalation of global warming and its devastating effects on the planet. The African continent faced enormous challenges due to climate change, suffering from extreme weather events such as floods and droughts, which directly impact its economies. According to reports, some African countries lose up to 5% of their GDP annually due to climate change. In addition to natural disasters, rising temperatures and changing weather patterns exacerbate desertification, especially in areas such as the Sahel. This leads to the loss of arable land and makes farming difficult.
So that's it for tonight news. Thanks for being with us and have a good time.